But guess what? It's okay. You know why? It's football season, bro. We personally, the Texans, we got 2 days till camp.
You know what it also is? It's Let's Ride season, and we get to see Russell Wilson back.
You sound so enthused about that. This is my favorite time of the season because everybody starts out on a clean slate, but the rest of us, like, we're all haters because aside from your team, you're looking at everybody like, I can't wait for you to fail so I can laugh at you. And if we're being completely honest, that's one of the best parts about football is the trash talk to the other team's fans.
I'm going to kind of jump right into it. Everyone's dark horse pick all off season's been the Lions, where they're not a dark horse anymore. Mm-hmm. And it's starting to feel a little bit like, remember when that one Vic on the Eagles year when they signed all those free agents and everyone was on their dick going into the season? It kind of feels like that, where I do think the Lions have a great young core and they finished the season strong. Their defense was bad. And they added some guys. They added a few corners and some secondary. And not to get too into the details, I just don't know if they're going to live up to the hype yet or if they're 2 years away.
Well, not to be like go into it, but I think that team is okay because that division's not great. But they did do things that just didn't make sense to me. Like reaching for Gibbs from Alabama, but not bringing back Jamal Williams. Like things like that. It's like, It's like I just need to see your moves and your transactions like play out. So I'm not like hype on them, but I do understand that there's potential there for him to do really well. But I'm excited to see that because when's the last time you got excited to see Lions football?
Yeah, no, I'm excited to see it too. I actually I don't hate Jared Goff. I think he gets an unfair rap. I mean, yeah, he finished the season 6 or 7-0 and was playing lights out, and he was good for a little bit under McVay, and then things soured. But that division, the NFC North, underratedly bad defensively. Every team. I mean, the Packers might have the most talent on defense, but I think the coordinator is an idiot. And they're all in the bottom 10 in defense last year. So, yeah.
Justin Fields said he's a top 5 running back all time.
Running back?
Like running quarterback of all time.
Yeah, maybe. Well, them other top 4, where did they get? Not a whole lot. I don't know.
Do you think Cam was the most successful running quarterback just because he got to a Super Bowl?
I think he was the most successful as far as because of that, but I think Vic was the best, in my opinion.
Yeah, unless you count Hurts as a running quarterback. I mean, he's young, but
yeah.
I mean, I guess let's look at the NFC since we're already there. Who, I guess, do you see as, of course, the top dogs? And then who, I mean, we all know.
The team in the NFC that I'm the most excited to see is the Seattle Seahawks because of what they did in the draft and how well they did last year. Like, they legitimately could have walked out of the draft with the best players at their position, Devin Witherspoon and Jackson Smith-Njigba. So I want to see I think that Seattle's going to be legit, bro. I really do.
And the NFC is wide open. There's no clear, other than the Eagles. I mean, but teams repeat. So it's so hard to repeat, even if you're better than everyone else. Like I think the Eagles are. The Niners are right there too. I don't think I'm most excited to see either of those teams. I don't know. I'm just excited to see some of these new quarterbacks in new places. Like the NFC South for a while was looking like it would be a complete joke, and it still
is.
It is, but like I'm excited to see. I think Dennis Allen's on the hot seat for the Saints. It's not getting much buzz, but they expect to be a good team every year, even though they have an aging core and they're not. But their fan base and it's the NFL. In the NFL, you don't have a long leash like you do in other sports. So if they shit the bed and don't win that shitty division, I think they might be fired.
I 100% agree with that, but I think Derek Carr is the best quarterback in that division. But I don't know, man.
You don't have hope in Baker?
No. I was going to say, I've seen some videos where Bryce Young looked exceptionally small, but even though we didn't get him on our team, I'm still kind of rooting for him a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, I want to see you do well in this league.
Well, Miles Sanders says that Andy Dalton's a future Hall of Famer, so if that's the case, then he'll be starting week 1.
I did see that too. What about the Cowboys? I mean, they're riding high. Their fans.
What about them? What about them?
Honestly, though, just because the NFC is so open, they have enough talent, I think, to be competitive. Do you think they did enough to address weapons other than CD, though?
Absolutely not.
I don't, yeah.
Pollard's still not signed.
Yep.
Schultz.
You let Schultz leave. You let Noah Brown leave. You bring in a rookie tight end. Your defense wasn't great last year, and you didn't do much to make it better. And then you have a team like Philly who got better on defense. So,
I mean, Dak did say he's not throwing 10 interceptions this year. So
nice.
And I mean, you lost your offensive coordinator, who I'll bring up later because I think he's going to do dope in for the Chargers. I don't know what the Cowboys are. Like, they scare you? If you were playing them, would you care?
Well, I think the more interesting question is in the NFC East is who's better, the Cowboys or the Giants? Because I think they're the most similar in terms of talent and where they are overall. But they both have running backs that are holding out.
Yeah.
They both arguably didn't do enough in the offseason to address their needs. I mean, the Giants got Darren Waller, which is interesting, but I don't know what it does with a quarterback who doesn't pass well. So, yeah, I think that's the real question is who's going to finish second in the NFC East.
Oh, I'm a Cowboy hater, and I'll admit it. It's the Washington. They'll finish second. I don't like the Giants either. No, I think it'll be the Giants. But don't sleep on Washington because there's one of those teams that truly is a quarterback away. I feel like to be really competitive. Huh?
But they don't have the core. Are they just rolling with Sam Howell?
That's exactly what they're doing.
That's fourth place.
Yeah, but it's like, come on. Let's see what Daniel Jones is going to do. Can you do it twice? Can you be good twice?
That's why I kind of like Dallas second. I'll go Dallas second.
I just don't think Dallas has the weapons. I really don't. Like, I don't know who you're going to give the ball to.
So if you had to pick a favorite, I guess, in the NFC, what is it?
I like the Niners.
Bingo. San Francisco 49ers are my pick.
Best defense maybe in football. If they can
lost their starting right tackle, but it doesn't matter.
A consistent, healthy quarterback. I think honestly, and I think even I don't even care if it's Brock or Lance. Shanahan's so good with quarterbacks. You could throw in any NFC South quarterback, and I still think they win 8 or 9 games. But with
you're going to eat those words maybe because they're about to. Because don't forget Sam Darnold's on that team.
Shit. I don't know. That defense is so good. I think even Sam Darnold could win 7 or 8 games.
I agree. I didn't think Brock Purdy was that special. I thought it was the system he played in.
Just give McCaffrey the ball.
Yeah, that's what they did. McCaffrey played about as good as we've ever seen him in that stretch. So, and you're right. Their defense is elite. I like it. I like the 49ers coming out of the NFC.
You know how
early pick,
bro?
Doing what?
The Vikings have a losing record. They won so many games by less than 7 points, and just historically, that almost always flips the next year. I think Kirk Cousins is average, and he doesn't excite me at all. I think Jefferson's gonna have another monster season, and what? But they didn't do enough on the defensive side. I still think
they were a terrible defensive team that got worse. It's like you lost to Darius Smith. He went to Cleveland. You lost the corner.
Patrick
Yeah. I went to Peterson. He went to Pittsburgh. But you bring in a player like Marcus Davenport, like, you didn't do anything to get better. You drafted a receiver when you probably have the top 2 or 3 receiver in the league anyways. Like, I don't know if y'all did that right.
And he's already gotten in trouble off the field.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. Jordan Addison might help that team though. But I mean, even if he gets you 1,000 yards on top of what Justin Jefferson does, that team still sucks.
I'd be kind of surprised if they won the North. I just think the Lions are better. Almost at every position.
I think the Vikings might be the worst team in that division, to be honest with you.
Ooh. Oh, that's
damn.
odd. I don't know if the Bears did enough to get out of the – and I don't know if Fields can play a full season how he plays.
I'm banking on the fact that he's going to throw the ball a little bit more. I mean, you got receivers now. Like, yes, what I'm saying is like they gave you a team to play around. So, like, if you're tucking the ball and running, then that's on you if you get hurt.
I just don't trust it. I still think the Bears will be last. The Packers are the biggest wild card. I know you think they'll never win another Super Bowl, but in our lifetimes. But
hold on, just to go back and harp on it real quick. Like, I think that what the Bears did on defense though makes them better than the Vikings. I mean, you brought in T.J. Edwards from Philly, linebacker. He was super underrated. I think they overpaid Tremont Edmonds, but he's a great coverage linebacker.
Yeah.
So, like, I think that, like, their defense is going to be better, and that might mean something in that division.
Yeah, it might because, all the defense is below. But,
that's
what – I think the North is exciting. I think it speaks to how open the NFC is as a conference. But the North – like, I wouldn't be shocked. Like the Packers, for example, if they finish 4th anywhere to winning the division. Winning the division would be the most surprising just because we haven't seen Love do it. But it wouldn't be like out of this world shocking just because of how open this division is. Like you would think the Lions would win the division. I would be surprised if the Lions finished worse than 2nd, though. I think the Lions have the highest floor of any team in the division.
I'm going to stand by what I said. I don't think the Packers will win another Super Bowl in my lifetime. But I do think that they're better than the Bears, or they could be, because there's a strong possibility that there's going to be an offense ran from that team that we haven't seen before because Aaron Rodgers isn't there. Like, if we're being honest, like that team never featured a tight end prominently under Rodgers, in my opinion. Like,
I mean, Tunyon had a good year, but
my point is like they never featured a tight end prominently enough to warrant the fact that they just drafted 2 of them. So what's going on there? Y'all are doing something so like to me it's like the Packers are a little bit of an unknown on offense.
Well, LaFleur was in Tennessee before Green Bay, and his style was different, but he worked with Rodgers, and it almost became a hybrid 50-50 of their 2 styles, where now I think we might see a little bit more of that Tennessee offense, using more play action, running the ball with Jones and Dillon, and then doing the play action to their rookie tight ends rather than what Rodgers preferred, which was not a lot of that and not utilizing the tight ends in the passing game. So I'm pumped. I think Barry should have been fired last year as the D coordinator, but they have the talent. They spent so many first rounders on their defense, so we'll see. It's exciting because they don't have expectations this year like they've had the last few.
Oh, is that true?
Like Super Bowl expectations.
Oh, that's true. But I think there's a ton of pressure on Jordan Love right now.
Pressure, yeah.
And you know what? I don't know. It's kind of weird to me. I think that Jordan Love might have more pressure on him from the Packers haters than the actual Packers fans, because we want to see him fail so bad.
Well, there's been more trash talk I've seen on Twitter and just online in general. Like Bears fans are coming out of hiding. Vikings fans are coming out of hiding because Rodgers owned the division for so long that now they're coming out and talking their shit, and it's kind of funny. But
get it while the skillet's hot. Let's shift to the AFC, where there's a lot of teams over there that have.
AFC is going to be so fun this year, bro. It's going to be so fun.
Like the 6th seed in the AFC is going to be better than the 2 or 3 seed in the East, in the NFC.
There's going to be a shit ton of touchdowns scored out of the AFC this year. It's going to be crazy.
I mean, we can look at the AFC East. I mean, you got the Bills, the Jets, the Dolphins, and the Patriots. I mean, all four of those.
Like that. That's a tough division to predict to me.
I would almost go in that order that you listed them: Bills, Jets, Dolphins, Patriots. Until I see a full season out of Tua, it's hard to trust them. But
I think the rest of the team is better than what the Jets have, though.
The Jets' defense is top notch. I don't know what we're going to see of Rodgers. Are we going to see a chip on the shoulder Rodgers, or are we going to see broken thumb last year hallucinogen Rodgers?
Knowing what Aaron Rodgers does and how the luck that the Jets have, I have a feeling that something's going to happen that's going to piss him off. And there's going to be a streak in this season where all the narrative is going to be, he gave up on this team already. So I just think there's going to be too many ups and downs for that Jets team. I think the Dolphins are better.
Could you see a Favre at the Jets season where they went 8-8? So like, I guess it'd be 9-8 or 8-9. I think 9-8 is a reasonable Jets prediction.
No, I would give him a 10 win. Like, I actually think Aaron Rodgers is still a top 5 quarterback no matter where he plays. You put him on Arizona, he's a top 5 quarterback. But it's just like, I don't trust the rest of that team around him because you got like Breece Hall, second-year player coming off injury, Garrett Wilson. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, can you guys live up to the expectations that Rodgers is about to put on you? I know what the Dolphins are going to do. They're going to score a shit ton of points. Yeah, and their defense might have got a little bit better. They got Ramsey now, and they got a new D coordinator. So the only thing that scares me about the Dolphins, as you said it, is like, can Tua play a full season and you idiots forgot to go get a good backup because you got Mike White from the Jets, and that's about it.
Yeah, that almost should have been their first priority, is getting a solid backup. Honestly, if Carson Wentz who's still available, I wouldn't hate that as a backup. You just need a guy that
they gotta have Mike White over Carson Wentz because
really?
Mike White played okay for the Jets last year, but I think you could do better considering there's a strong possibility if Luka gets hurt and you have to play. You're gonna play a long period of time, so I would rather have somebody better than Mike White do that.
What about the Patriots? Are they finishing any higher than 4th?
I think they could.
Yeah. Do you think they?
Well, because you got rid of Jonnu because you knew he wasn't doing shit for you, and you brought in Gesicki, right? So Gesicki's so different than Hunter Henry. I think that plays to their advantage. And then 2, Christian Gonzalez, the corner from Oregon, just fell in your lap at like 17. So your defense got better.
Yeah, that was ridiculous how he dropped.
So the only question that I have from them is like, can Ramondre keep it up at running back by himself since Damian Harris left? He went to the Bills. Like, I can't count the Patriots out. I really can't. Like, I think they could compete any week with anybody in that division.
Yeah, they're too well coached to be counted out.
Yeah.
I mean, that's probably the hardest division out of. It wouldn't be surprising if somebody's over somebody else in that division. Like,
I feel like if the Bills play to their potential, it should be easier for them, though.
Yeah.
I think the AFC North is actually a better division, though. Where the worst team you might say is the Steelers, but even the Steelers are pretty frisky. The Steelers would be a playoff team in the NFC. I think pretty not easily.
Oh, for sure.
Where in the AFC they might be on the outside just because you have a rejuvenated Ravens. I think this Ravens team will be better than the last few years of Ravens football. And then the Browns will see a full season with Watson. And then the Bengals are going to be – if I had to pick a team to come out of the AFC, I like a Bengals-Niners Super Bowl if I had to pick right now.
He's going with the Browns.
I'm a Joe Burrow fan, so I agree with that. But I think Baltimore can compete with Cincinnati.
Yeah, they can. And those are going to be some awesome divisional games. Because they're both – every one of those teams is pretty balanced. none of those teams is like their defense sucks.
Well, the thing about it is they're the top two teams, but it always worries me is like, is Cincinnati going to be able to run the ball, and can Baltimore pass the ball? Let's find out.
I think Baltimore has a bigger concern because they have Mixon.
Really? I just felt like last year in the playoffs in that snow game, if Cincinnati ran the ball better, it's like that game should have been easier for you. But you went and stole the left tackle from Kansas City. Forgot his name. You let Samaje Perine leave. I don't know who their backup running back is.
Was it Mixon and the backup was
It was Perine and he left.
Yeah.
They lost Jesse Bates, which I didn't give a shit about him anyway. So is there secondary any? It is, because they got Juan Thornhill from Kansas City.
As of right now, their backup running back is Chase Brown.
I'm with you though. I got Cincinnati coming out of this division, but I'm a biggest Joe Burrow fan there is in this parts at least.
And in the NFL, especially when a really good team loses like they did in the AFC title game last year, like that's a huge motivator. That's a big chip on your shoulder where they probably should have won that game a few different ways.
Another motivator for the Bengals, as good as Jamar Chase is, T. Higgins is playing for a contract. So
contract year Higgins. Ooh.
I like that. Also, like, as much as I freaking hate the Browns, I don't hate the Browns. I hate their quarterback. Their defense got good, man. Their defense got really good, especially their D-line. So if Deshaun don't screw it up, that team could compete.
As of this Madden, sounds like he is going to screw it up, man.
I still like the Steelers, though.
I like the Steelers too. I like a lot.
Pickens is such a good player to me. Like I like this. I just don't have faith in Kenny Pickett.
Yeah,
but the rest of the team, I like it.
Oh, I thought you said Pickens or you said Pickens. Yeah, I like Pickens, but Pickett I've never been a big fan of.
I don't hate him, but he hasn't showed me anything. And then two is like I think you need another. Like it's apparent to me that Najee Harris cannot be that bell cow back. Like he can't carry the workload he thinks he can. You know what I mean?
I like Najee, but yeah, I have him in fantasy, and I know it.
He was in that meeting for the running backs, bro. Like he knows he can do it. What about the AFC West? I mean, of course, the Chiefs are the top dogs of the AFC, but you have the Broncos, the Raiders, or the Chargers making any noise in there?
I think it's a 2-horse race with the Chargers, Raiders, and Chiefs.
They stole the little boy offensive coordinator from the Cowboys. The Chargers did. What's his name? Yes, Kellen Moore. I forgot his name. And then you use your first 2 picks to draft more receivers, which I didn't necessarily get that, but
weird.
I think they're going to score a shit ton of points.
That was never their problem. The problem has always been their defense. Especially
they did get a linebacker from somewhere, though. I forgot who. They got that kid from, I think, Illinois. No, that's not. He went to Baltimore. They got a linebacker from somewhere, though. I liked it, too, because they already had that Tranquil guy. They'll be okay, I think. Well, they screwed up as they gave all that money to J.C. Jackson.
Yeah, and that's a tough playoff loss last year, obviously. But yeah, I think they're going to be right there with the Chiefs, probably second, and then it's going to drop, I think, to the Broncos, Raiders. That might be an interesting race for third, and everyone thinks the Broncos are going to be good now that Sean Payton's there, but you can't fix, I think, a broken quarterback.
I agree, but I do believe that when Williams comes back, he's going to run the ball, which will make that team better. 2, you paid for an O-line and you signed the pass rusher from Arizona. So I think their line play will be better on both sides of the ball. The Broncos only had one direction to go. And I felt like the Raiders were a little bit of an overachiever anyway because we thought they sucked even with Devontae. But anybody who thinks that Jimmy Garoppolo is an upgrade from Derek Carr is retarded. Like, there's no way that team can do as good without Derek Carr and Darren Waller. Derek Carr and Waller, you know what I mean? So that I think Oakland's the worst team in that division. Your defense sucks. It just sucks. I don't know what else to tell them.
The Oakland, Vegas.
Yeah, Vegas. They're always Oakland to me.
No, I agree. I think they're the worst team. But I don't think the Broncos are going to be that good. I don't know. I don't buy the hype. Just because
no, I don't buy their hype as a contender, but I do think that they have no choice but to be better than what they were last year.
I could see an 8-9 win team.
Yeah, like something like that I can get on board with. Man, I just really want the Chargers to not shoot themselves in the foot and make a playoff push to see what happens.
I'm not a Justin Herbert fan anymore.
I don't know how their coach is going to get fired.
Me either. I really don't understand it.
I think this is the year. I think he might be the hottest seat of any playoff contender.
True. And, Kansas City, they just do Kansas City things. They lost their left tackle to the Bengals, so they went and stole one from the Panthers. So,
I mean, everybody talked about him last year when they traded Hill, and
you can't write him off. You can never write Mahomes off.
That 1-2 combo of Mahomes and Kelsey, nasty.
I mean, and Andy Reid, he has to be thrown in that combination when they're made. He's just so smart. He's just such a good offensive football coach.
How do people hate Mahomes? I know a few people who, at least in my personal life, they're Mahomes haters, and most of them are are Patriot fans. So I think part of it's like a jealousy that he's like the new top guy in the league.
I say this, like, I don't necessarily run across Mahomes haters until he gets praised. Like, if somebody praises him, then somebody will always shit on him because that's just how groups of people do it. But like, people don't go out of their way to hate on him like they would Brady or anything. You know what I mean? Right. I said this for the past 2 years, and I swear by it. I enjoy watching Pat Mahomes. He isn't annoying. He's a little bit annoying to me, but it's very likely or possible that that's the best quarterback we've ever seen play. So I'm going to enjoy it.
Yeah, that's possible.
Steph Curry or thing.
Yeah, it really is.
Now we go into more talented people also. Will Levis and all them in the AFC
South. That old shitty ass division I'm in.
Why is it Will Levis isn't MVP his rookie year?
If Will Levis is a MVP in his rookie year, I'm gonna chop my own damn toe off. I just can't let that happen.
I mean, we all predict Jaguars are the top of the AFC South, right? Like, they have to be.
I have a hot take, and this is before they signed Hopkins. I like the Titans. I think the Titans massively underperformed last year. They stick with what they do. It's Tannehill's last hurrah.
What makes me nervous is that to the common eye, like common fan, they would say the Jaguars are, but people like they lost too much. I think you lost your left tackle, then you lose another one to steroids. Arden Key went to the Titans. I'm not sold on the Jaguars. They don't scare me.
That's why I like the Titans, just because they've been doing this for the last 4 or 5 years the same way. They have the continuity. They've lost some guys, but I don't know. They're a solid
the
team.
thing about the Titans, trust me, we play these jokers twice a year. And I'm not saying we win them all, but it's always competitive. Like, we don't care. Like, we literally can get people from the Greyhound bus station and go play them because we know what you're going to do. You're just going to hand the ball off. That's it.
Literally, the picture of them putting the things, all Titan fans were like, great, another season of running Derrick Henry into the ground at the age of 30. So it's kind of like, even
their quarterback play is so bad over there. Like, it's not that they're easy to beat, but it's like, you don't make me strategize to play you. I just don't. There's lazy football being, not like they don't give effort, but like the thought process, there's no scheming to me. So I can't be sold on them. I'll take the Jaguars over them. Obviously, the Texans over the Titans. And I'm being quite honest, I can care less about the Colts because I don't believe that Anthony Richardson is a quarterback. What'd you say earlier? Fields is a top 5 running back? Yeah. So is Anthony Richardson.
Anthony Richardson's Jamarcus Russell 2.0.
No, I'm not saying a bust like that, but like The best thing that the Colts have going for Anthony Richardson is you can legitimately build that team in any way you want at this point because you really don't have a lot around him anyway. You know what I mean? So like you can go get certain kind of receivers or blocking tight ends instead of pass catching tight ends because like if Alec Pierce ran good routes last year and he couldn't get the ball, what the hell is this guy gonna do? So I ain't worried about them at all.
I think the Colts are gonna be last.
Ooh.
No, I could see it. Well, their defense isn't bad. The problem with their defense is they have star power and then they lack.
It's top heavy. Yeah.
It is top heavy.
And the Texans?
Jonathan Taylor can.
Fucking Jonathan Taylor. I kept him as a keeper last year, and I think he's due for a bounce back. He's like the Broncos. You think he can only go up.
Yeah, but I don't know if you're going to go up running the ball when your quarterback wants to run the ball too. So, hey, bro, RPO means either one of us can run the ball, not keep it every time. We'll beat them. The first team to 6 or 7 wins is third in the division between Houston and Indy.
Yeah, I think that's gonna be the race. Those two racing for third.
The Titans are only going to get like 8 though. So Jaguars win the division with 10.
Who do you think the most surprising playoff team is going to be in either conference? Like, who would be a real good dark horse playoff team? Other than the Packers.
Well, like that's tough because like you could name 3 people out of the AFC East. You could probably name 2 out of the AFC North.
I'm gonna go with Seattle and NFC. And then
I would.
You know what team we didn't talk about at all? Who's not going to be a dark horse playoff team? But are the Rams just going to be dog shit? Can a team that well coached be okay?
They are. You have no picks. You have no money. You have 2 players.
Them or the Cards?
Say it again.
Who's gonna be better, them or the Cardinals?
Oh, the Rams. The Rams are like a 7-win team.
Okay.
You have a healthy Cam Akers.
Mm-hmm.
And aging Matthew Stafford. Injured coming back Cooper Kupp.
Aaron Donald's finally going to retire. He's like, nah, I'm good. I'm out. Yeah. Nah, that team don't scare nobody.
I guess the Steelers might be a dark horse.
I was thinking that.
Yeah.
I was thinking that. I was either thinking the Steelers or the Titans. But then I was like, I mean, the Titans are projected 2, so it's not crazy that they would go 1. I just think that there's a team in the AFC East that's being overhyped. Like the Jets, man. I'm not sold on that. Could it be the Falcons?
I was gonna say maybe an NFC South team. Are they running with Ritter?
Yeah.
No.
But there's just so many ways to get the ball out of his hand. I mean, you got Bijan, Drake London, you got Kyle Pitts, you got Cordero Patterson. Like, there's so many things. And they're going to unleash Bijan because that's what they do. They unleash. So, I think it's the Falcons, maybe. What if they run across the NFC North and they get some wins? They win out. They do good in their own division. That's like an 8-9 win season.
Well, there's only been one playoff team from the South, so maybe it's them.
Nah, it's the Saints. The Saints, they're too good.
Who's your Super Bowl pick then?
I'll take Niners. I'll take Niners and Chiefs.
Rematch. Yeah, I'll take Bengals over the Niners.
Oh, I love that. You know how damn annoying Joe Burrow would be if he wins the Super Bowl? He'd be the most annoying white boy on the internet.
It's gonna happen sometime.
Yeah. Oh, he's that good to me.
Yeah.
I got Bengals versus Eagles.
All right, here's the question. How far into the season before the Cowboys fuck up and we make fun of them?
Week 4. I mean, Mike McCarthy's our coach, so yeah, I think it'll be later than week 4. You know who didn't mention at all are the Bills. Are we all just tired of the Bills getting buzzed every year?
No, it's just the Bills never do. They're just good. And you don't do anything different to get better. So you're just really bringing back the same shit.
And playoff Josh Allen's a different animal than regular. I like Josh Allen. I'm a Josh Allen fan, but playoff Josh Allen's a different guy. He goes back to his rookie and sophomore year tendencies of just making dumbass, boneheaded decisions.
Now, the thing that could change everything is, I think, how can I say this not so harsh? All right, I'm gonna just say it. I think Gabe Davis is trash. I don't think you're that fucking good, to be honest with you. But Dalton Kincaid on that team is gonna change that, because he's your number 2 option now.
Gabe Davis gets his hype for fantasy, and that's about it. And he's a boom or bust player.
Yeah, he's a risky fantasy guy too.
Everybody I know that likes Gabe Davis, they're like, "Oh, it's because I have him on fantasy." It's like,
we had that 4-touchdown game against the Chiefs in the playoffs, and that cemented his
I remember. I remember.
Yeah.
But also, they brought Damian Harrison for the Patriots, and they got James Cook there, so hopefully they can run the ball better. And then they just do dumb shit like you just gave Ed Oliver all that money. It's no disrespect to Ed Oliver, because I've been rooting for him since he was at UH, but is he worth $65 million? I don't think so.
That's a tackle. It's tough to justify if he's not.
Exactly. Especially when you got the rest of the league signing free agent nose tackles for 1-year deals at $12 million, and you're going to give him 4 years for 65. It just doesn't make sense. Okay. And you don't know what Von Miller is going to be coming back. So,
and Tre'Davious White's always hurt.
Yes. You brought back your safety, Jordan,
Poyer,
who was gonna leave, and then you brought him back anyway, and he's kind of old, so it's the Bills just have to show me, can you get over the hump?
And they're going to be good again in the regular season. They're going to win 11 or 12 games, but I'm not going to be convinced.
See, the problem is people hype that team, and that's why Stephon Diggs acts like a little bitch.
And that's another storyline that might fester.
All right. We broke it down. Now, football's coming back. If you made it to this point, make sure you like, subscribe, everything else. We're going to be breaking down each division. We're going to be breaking down players. We're going to be breaking down fantasy, parlays, DraftKings, FanDuel, all types of stuff on there when it comes to the NFL. Make sure you check it out right here on the network. A lot of content going up. Make sure you hit the notification bell so you can see it. I think we're done here for the Sunday night special.
Hey. Fuck you, Tennessee. What?
How much I'm working for this? I swear my dreams are too important.